Raj is making a cake. He pours 275 millilitres of milk into a jug. Draw a line on the jug to show the level of milk. So we need to know what each line on this scale represents. And to get from 0 to 100, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, and 100 divided by 4. So we're dividing by 4 because it takes 4 lines to get from 0 to 100, and that's 25. So each line represents an increase of 25. So to find 275, we can find 200, and then adding 25 with each line, we have 225, 250, and then 275 must be this line here. The scales below show how much flour he uses. How much flour does Raj use? So here, to get from 0 grams to 1 kilogram, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. Now 1 kilogram is 1000 grams, and our answer is 750 because 3/4 of 1000 is 750. 1000 divided by 4 is 250, and the third line tells us that we multiply that by 3, so we have 0 here, then 250, 500, 750, then 1000 grams, which is the same as 1 kilogram. Here is an equilateral triangle drawn on a circle. Use a ruler to draw a regular hexagon on this circle. So remember, an equilateral triangle is a three-sided shape where all of our sides are the same length. We need to draw a regular hexagon. So a hexagon is a six-sided shape, and if it's a regular hexagon, the word regular tells us that all the sides of our hexagon need to be the same length as well. Now notice here, with the equilateral triangle, between the vertices we have 3 dots here, and 3 dots here, and 3 dots here. Now we have 12 points altogether on our circle, and because a hexagon is a six-sided shape, if we divide by 6, that tells us that we will have 2 points from one vertex or one corner to the next. So if we pick a point, we can miss one and then colour in this one here and do the same. So we're missing one of the dots each time, and then we can join up the dots that we've dotted or the dots that we've highlighted or coloured, and we have a regular hexagon. Now the answer doesn't have to be exactly like this. You could have joined up the dots that I've left black instead, and that would still be a regular hexagon because you still have the same amount of space, so one dot between each corner. Meena has 2 cartons of juice. Each carton contains 220 millilitres. She empties them both into this jug. Draw an arrow to show the level of the mixture in the jug. So, to get from 100 to 200, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. So, it's a difference of 100, and we have 4 lines. So 100 divided by 4 is 25, which means that each line on this jug represents an increase of 25. So after 100, the next line will be 125, then 150, and so on. Now she has 2 cartons, and each carton contains 220 millilitres, so we need to work out 220 times 2, or 220 plus 220. That gives us 440. So we need to draw our arrow here. So that's less than 450, but more than 425. And because 440 is closer to 450, it's only 10 millilitres away from 450, but it's 15 millilitres away from 425, so the arrow needs to be slightly closer to 450 than to 425. But it does need to be lower. The arrow can't be on 450. It has to be slightly below to show 440 millilitres. This chart shows when some children were asleep one night. For how many hours was Luke asleep? So we can find Luke's bar, and if we go to the start of that, so when he first started to sleep, and draw a line up, we can see that that's between 9 and 10, so that's 9:30. Then, if we want to know when he woke up, we can go to the end of his bar, draw a line up, and we can see that that's halfway between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. So that's 7:30 a.m. So altogether, Luke was asleep for 10 hours. Now what we can do here, because we've got the times drawn on, is just count. So an hour later than 9:30 will be 10:30, so in between 10 and 11. So that's 1 hour, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours. Now, how many children woke up after 7 a.m? So we can find the time 7 a.m. and draw a line straight down. Now we can see that our answer is 3 children because there are 3 bars that go beyond 7 a.m. So Luke woke up at 7:30 and so did Sam, and Julian woke up at 8 o'clock. Calculate the size of angle Y. So for this question, we need to know that angles around a point add up to 360 degrees. And what we mean by angles around a point is that we can take a point and then whatever direction we move in, we have an angle. So if we move over here, we get to angle Y. From the point, if we move this way, we get to 63. This way, we have 73 degrees as our angle, and this way, we have 83 degrees. So if we know that the total of angles around a point is 360, we can find our missing angle by working out 360 minus 63 minus 73 minus 83. So remember, when we're subtracting lots of things, what we can do is add up the numbers that we're subtracting. And 63 plus 73 plus 83 is 219. And you might need to use column addition. In fact, you probably would need to use column addition for this. I've not done it here because I know that you already know how to add using column addition. So then we'd use column subtraction to work out 360 minus 219, and that gives us 141. So angle Y is 141 degrees. And then if we wanted to check our answer, we could work out 141 plus 63 plus 73 plus 83 and check that our total is 360. This chart shows the amount of money spent in a toy shop in 3 months. How much more money was spent in the shop in December than in November? So we have a bar chart and we need to know what each of these lines represents. So to get from 0 to £10,000, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. And if we divide 10,000 by 4, we get 2,500. You're probably spotting the pattern that 100 divided by 4 is 25, 1,000 divided by 4 is 250, so 10,000 divided by 4 is 2,500. So we need to work out how much was spent in December and November. If we go to the end of our bar for December, we can see that that's one line after £30,000, so that's £32,500, because remember, each line is 2,500. And then if we go to the end of our November bar and draw a line down, that's two lines after 10,000. So we'll have 12,500 and then £15,000. You can see 15,000 right in the middle of 10,000 and 20,000. Now the question asks how much more, so we need to compare these two values. We need to find the difference, and we do that using subtraction. So when we use column subtraction, we get £17,500. So that's how much more was spent in December than in November.